Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to create a drop-down button using Divi's Fullwidth menu module. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve, so without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. Alright, so right now I'm logged into my WordPress admin dashboard. So to start with this tutorial, we need to create a menu. So I want to come over here to Appearance and then click on Menus. So here we need to create a brand new one. So I'm going to click on Create a New Menu. We're going to give this menu a name. So let's call it Drop-Down Button Menu. There you go. So you want to click here on Create Menu. So now that we've created this menu, we also need the pages to go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create some made up pages. So let's start by coming over here to custom links. So I won't add the URL here yet. So this one here is going to be called Learn More. I'm going to add it to the menu. And then I'm going to create a few more. So let's go ahead and again, I'm just adding a blank link here. So you want to add a link that links to your actual page. So here on the link text, I'm going to call this Our Services. And I'm just going to add a few here. Our Services. Let's do Our Company as well. And we're just going to do one more. And this time, we're just going to call this FAQ. All right. So now that I have my menus all created, now this is going to be a drop down. So in order for us to make it look like a drop down, we just need to drag this over here like that. So this becomes like our main item. And then if you hover over this, it's going to show these other pages here. So that's going to be our drop down. All right. So now that I've selected all that, all I have to do now is to save the menu. All right, so the next stage now is to just create a brand new page, and we are going to create our menu. So I'm just going to make sure I save this just in case. Right, so over here to my pages, I'm just going to say add new, and I'll just call this page drop down. I'm going to click use the Divi builder. So for this, we're going to start building from scratch. So I'm going to click start building. We're going to go with a single column here, and let's search for a text module here. And in here, in fact, let me snap this over to the left. Right, so in here, I am just going to add some dummy text. So I'm just going to paste it in here. Now, this is my normal lorem text, but of course, in your case, you can use whatever text you want. So here, we're going to make sure this text here is a heading. So I'm highlighted it, and then over here, I'm just going to set it to heading 1. So now that we've set all this up, the next step now is to go to our section padding. So I'm going to save this. Go into my section padding, and I'm going to add 0 pixels to the bottom. So I'm going to click here on design, spacing, and add 0 pixels. So pretty much this is all we need to do here. I'm going to save, and then next I'm going to go into my row settings. Click on design, spacing, and over here we want to add padding. So let's start with 10 VW. Now this needs to be at the top and the bottom. And we also need to add 5 VW to the left and the right. Oops, 5 VW. And I also need to add a border. So I'm going to come over here, and my border width here is going to be 1 pixel. Now let's add our drop down. So I'm going to save this, click on this plus button. Now, normally we add a regular section. This time we're going to come over here to full width, and we're going to choose full width menu. Now, here's the thing. Over here on the menu, automatically it's set to main menu. So we need to choose the menu that we created a few moments ago called the drop down button menu. So I'm going to select that. So over here on the background, we have a default white background. So we're going to get rid of that by just clicking here on delete, and then we're going to save. Right. So the next stage now is just to stylize this menu. So I'm going to go into my module settings, go to background. And here we're going to add a gradient. So I'm going to use specific colors here for the gradient. Now, if you want to use the exact same colors as I'm using throughout this tutorial, I will leave a link to the post in the show notes below. All right, so I'm going to click here on this plus button and add my first color. I'm going to paste it in here. Right, so make sure you don't have 2 pound signs in there. All right, so now it's time to add my second color. So I'm going to click here on my second color and paste it in place. Now I'm going to come over here to design, sizing, and for my maximum width, I am going to set this to 240. and then I'm going to align it center. Now let's further customize this by adding some rounded corners. So I'm going to come over here to border, and we're going to set this to 5, and we're going to set this to all around. So for this to work, we're going to add a bit of CSS code. So we're going to come over here to the Advanced tab, click on CSS classes, and the class we're going to add here is going to be Dropdown button. Now let's come over here to visibility. So for the horizontal overflow, I'm going to set this to visible. And I'm also going to do the same to the vertical. And my Z index is going to be set to 14. So I'm going to come over here to position and set my Z index to 14. Now let's customize the full menu. So I'm going to come over here to design. So you can see when I hover, it's showing my links here, but of course we want to make sure that this has our colors that we need to make it look nice. So the first thing we want to do here is to make our menu links full width. So I'm just going to search here for full width, and here it is, make menu full width. So I'm going to say yes to that. Now we need to add our drop down menu color. So I'm just going to come over here to my drop-down menu. So let's start with our drop-down menu text color. So here we're going to set this to white. So I'm just going to drag this all the way up there to white. And then over here, mobile menu background color. Again, I'm going to go to my recent and choose white. Now we're also going to need our menu drop-down color. So as you can see here, it doesn't look great. So let's go ahead and fix that. So I'm going to add a custom color. So I'm going to click on the eyedropper tool and paste my color like that. And let's test it and see if it's working. Let's paste it one more time. There we go. So now it's showing. So we might as well add our menu background color as well. And it's going to be the same color. So I'm going to paste it in here. Now let's add our font menu. So to do that, I'm going to come over here to my menu text and then click here on default. So the font I'm going to go with is the Encode Sans semi-condensed. So I'm going to choose that. Now let's come over here to the font weight. We're going to set this to semi-bold. We're going to change the color to white. So I know I've used white before, so I'm going to go to my recent colors here and choose white. And then for the menu text size, we're going to set this to 16. And let's add the letter spacing as well. We're going to set this to 2 pixels. So over here on the drop-down menu, I know we've added all our colors, so that's great. So what we may also need to do here is to add some positioning. So let's come over here to spacing, and for our margin, we're going to set this to -40. So now you can see when I hover over here, everything is showing well. That's great. Now our text here needs to be centered. So let's fix that. So I'm going to go back over here to my menu text and center it. So that's looking better now. So we're almost done. So I just need to do a few things here. I'm going to save this. All right, so to finalize our design, the next stage now is to add our CSS code. So I'm going to come over here to expand settings, and then you want to click here on this gear icon, click on click on advanced custom CSS, and this is the CSS you need to paste in here. So this CSS can be found in the post, which I'll link to in the show notes below. So I'm going to go ahead now and save. And then for this to actually show correctly, you just want to add maybe another regular section here and add more content. So whatever content you add here on the bottom is going to give this enough space on the top. So what I'm going to do next here is I'm just going to save. In fact, I'm going to publish it, save it, and then we're going to do a quick preview and see how this looks. So I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. And now if I hover over this, you can see that this is now working. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.